Super morning, everybody. Super morning out there. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, let's go. Super morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mitch Royce podcast. This is episode number 100. Episode number 100. Stop undermining your worth. 3 ways to unfriend the inner critic. I'm glad that you're here. I want to thank you all for being here today, for taking time out to invest with this podcast and to invest also in your own understanding and growth in self image, your self esteem, and your confidence. I am Mitch Race. When a man changes his self image, everything he decides, earns, and becomes changes along with it. And I help younger men build value and seasoned men regain clarity by rebuilding the self image that drives their decisions, confidence, and their income. So, whether you're catching this podcast live or on the replay and your eyes are open, today is already a great day. So, we accomplished that. Thank God. It was not an easy thing to do, but we're here. So today we're going to talk about the the self the silent self-esteem slayer that I call, and that is called actually the inner critic. And so let's just spend some time to talk about a little bit about that voice. And it's the one that wakes up at 3 a.m., that tells you you're going to get fired, that you're behind in life, or that you're a fraud. Whether you're 22, just landing your first job and feeling like an imposter, and that is possible, or 55, having done this for decades and wondering whether or not you still got it, whether or not you still have what it takes. That voice is the same voice. It's your inner critic. And for many men, it's running the show, just running the show. It's not just annoying, it's toxic. It fuels low self esteem, creates a distracted life, and kills your career trajectory before you even make a move. It makes us think that harshness is toughness. But guess what? You constantly, and you cannot, though, bully yourself into high performance. You cannot bully yourself into high performance. Today, we're going to break up with that voice. We're going to break up, we're going to unfriend the inner critic. We're going to unfriend that inner critic with 3 actionable strategies to stop undermining your worth and start taking control of your career and life. Step 1, label and personify the inner critic. Okay, label and personify the inner critic. We're actually going to give it, for lack of a better word, substance, which it already does have. It's taking up space, it's taking up time in your life. Name it. And I'm not talking about naming it something like Joe or John or Jane or something like that. Okay. We're going to actually call it out for what it is. All right. And we're going to label it. So understand this, that the first step in breaking up with this inner critic is to realize that it's not you. It's not you. It is a sub personality. It's a recording of old fears, old teachers, or societal pressure. The problem is when you listen to that voice, you believe that I failed. And that's not a fact. You believe that I failed is a fact, and it's not. Rather, it's just a thought. Failure is not fatality, nor your future. Failure is not fatality, nor your future. Write that down. You are not your failures. I want you to remember these things. Write them down. So here's what you're going to do here in this case to label you and personify this inner critic. And it sounds silly, but it works. When you call it the prosecutor or the parrot or Debbie Downer. You create distance. Now, you can also call it the enemy, which is what I call it a lot, because it is the enemy. It's not your friend. This is why you're unfriending this inner critic. So the next time you hear you're going to screw up this presentation, you're going to mess up this masterclass, stop and say this. Okay, that's just the parrot talking again, running its mouth. That's just the enemy. The enemy's mad because I'm a success. I know who I am. I know whose I am. I know where I'm going. And it wants to talk to me about what it says I'm not, and I'm not interested. By naming it, you're no longer being the critic. So you take you out of the equation. You're no longer being the critic. You are observing the critic. You don't have to agree with it. Treat it like it's an annoying coworker that you don't want to listen to and you don't want to hear. And I know that probably there's a number of you out there that have done that and can do that. All right. So the second thing we're going to do is this. We're going to swap the narrative. We're going to change the story around. I'm going to call this the truth trial. Once you know who is talking to, once you know who you're talking to, and you know who is talking, and you know who you're talking to, and you know who is talking, you need to challenge what they're saying. The inner critic loves to catastrophize, and this you know. It takes a tiny mistake and turns it into a career-ending event. That event will take up space rent-free in your mind and in your life for a long time if you don't change the story, change that narrative. In my career, I've had things happen at events that didn't go well, and the voice of the inner critic was loud and relentless. It needed to be confronted with the truth. And this is how you do it. Put your critic on trial. Remember, it's not you. You're putting your critic on trial. When the critic says you're not good enough, you act like a lawyer and ask for evidence. Is it true? What evidence do I have to support this? Well, I remember a time when I heard that voice tell me I would never be successful. And I went on to accomplish ... great things, whatever it is. I started a company, a book, a podcast. I raised wonderful and amazing kids. I'm a fantastic friend. Whenever that inner critic wants to get on you and tell you that you are not enough, you are to put it on trial and go at it relentlessly like the prosecutor, attorney, the condemner that you are and can be, and you can do this. Usually what happens is the evidence shows that the critic is lying. I can tell you that for fact. Replace the thought with a growth-oriented voice. Instead of, I suck at this new project, or I really suck at this new project. Some people really go in. Try, I am learning. I have handled hard things before, and this is a new skill I'm acquiring. This will shift you from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, which is crucial for staying relevant no matter what your age is, no matter how old you are, you can do this. It's very, very crucial that you make this shift. Step 3, we're going to shift from perfection to contribution. The inner critic loves perfection, perfectionism. It thinks that if you make a mistake, that you're worthless. Here's what you do. You focused on contribution, not perfection. At 22, you might feel like you need to know everything. And at 55 or older, you might feel that you need to be infallible and that you're not willing to show your you might feel that you need to be infallible, that you can't be taken out of the game, and that's just not true. You can show your vulnerability, was what I was trying to say. You can show your vulnerability. You can be infallible. It's because you're not perfect. Not at 22, not at 55, and certainly not at 65 or even older. You're not. Both of these things are traps if you feel this way, if you feel like you need to know everything, or if you feel like you need to be infallible. Instead of worrying about looking perfect, being perfect, or speaking perfect, ask, what value can I contribute today? What can I contribute today that would be valuable? What can you do? And you're going to come up with some solutions. This will remove the spotlight from your own fears and puts it on the task, the team, or the goal. It flips anxiety into action. I'm going to give you some quick wins. Let's do some quick wins for daily self-worth, because this is going to help. Number one, in order to shift from perfection to contribution, here's some quick wins. Stop comparing. Stop comparing. Your journey is not your coworker's journey. Your journey is not who you see on Instagram or on Facebook. Their journey, their show is their show, as Oprah would say. Whatever your show is your show. There's no need to compare. You have a show. Just be thankful you have a show. And if you don't have a show, get a show. Okay, it's time to move towards those things now. It's time to get a show if you don't have one. But don't compare. Number two, physical care. You can't be mentally sharp. You can't be mentally sharp if you treat your body like trash. And I am telling you this from experience. Get sleep, eat right, and keep moving. You've got to move. And you certainly have got to get sleep. All right, that's going to change the game. Once you have gotten sleep and you start resting, you will feel better. Okay, and I'm speaking, as I speak to you, I'm speaking to the choir. I too have had bouts and have bouts with sleep. Okay, but I know the importance of it and getting my rest now and pulling back some, just so you can be accomplished in the things that you really need to be accomplished in. So you can be more focused to do the job that you're called to do. And even if you don't know exactly what that job is, if you don't know purpose, it's going to be really, really difficult if you don't exercise, if you don't sleep right, if you don't eat right, and if you don't talk right, and if you don't move. Okay. So a third quick win for self-worth would be to celebrate small wins. And the critic forgets your wins. Know this, that the critic forgets your wins. It wants to convince you that you're not winning, even when you are winning, and you know this. And you need to remember your wins. You need to remember them. All right. So you're going to stop undermining your worth and unfriend the inner critic. You're going to unfriend the inner critic, just like you would unfriend anyone else, possibly, if you're unfriending people on Facebook and or the various social interests that are out here. And in real life, people are unfriending people, but they won't unfriend the thing that they need to unfriend, or unfriend the things that they need to unfriend. So in this case, it's going to be the inner critic, and I'm going to encourage you today to unfriend the inner critic. And now we're going to conclude, because it's time to wrap this up. And we're going to establish a new voice. We're going to establish a new voice, and I love this. Name the critic. This is number one. 3 things. Number one, name the critic to separate yourself from the toxic voice. It's not you, okay? It's not you. I can guarantee you it's not you. It's that toxic voice. It's that inner critic. Number 2, challenge the critic by putting it on trial for evidence. You put it on trial. Ask the critical question. Is it true? Ask yourself that. Is it true? I'm emphatic about this because you have to ask, is it true? Do you believe it? Is it true? What you say or what that voice says about you? Is it true? Number 3, focus on contribution to shift from fear to growth. You don't need to be perfect to contribute. You can do that. Breaking up with your inner critic. doesn't happen overnight. But if you start today, if you start now, you can turn that toxic narrator into a helpful advisor. You're worth more than the voice in your head tells you that you are. I want to thank you so much for being here. All platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I want to thank you, whether you're catching this live or replay. This has been Podcast 100. Thank you for listening to the Mitch Race Podcast. Now, I want you to do something. I want you to go out there and take control. Go out there and take control. All right? Listen, have a wonderful day. Reframe your vision, reframe your value, and reframe your victory. I promise you that right after this podcast, I will go over and I will take a look at your kind remarks and your well wishes, because I know that you're out there. Your time is valuable. Again, thanks again for being here on the Mitch Race Podcast. I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed all 100 episodes with each and every one of you. I'll talk to you soon. Have an amazing, marvelous, and blessed day. Thanks again.